Not everything that breaks you is meant to destroy you. I'm Christy. Welcome to the unraveling. Hi, beautiful soul. I'm Christy. Welcome to this space. I want to talk about something that I think many people struggle with on this journey. I think it is one of the hardest things to discern, and I'm talking about surrender. Because surrender sounds beautiful, it sounds spiritual, it sounds peaceful, doesn't it? But what I've noticed is that many of us don't always know whether we're truly surrendering or simply just avoiding. And those two things can look surprisingly similar from the outside. Both can involve stepping back. Both can involve silence. Both can involve letting go. Both can involve not taking action. But energetically, they feel very, very different. Avoidance is usually driven by fear, and surrender is driven by trust. That is the simplest way I can explain it. Avoidance says, I can't handle this. I don't want to feel this. This is too painful. I am going to shut the door because I don't want to face what's here. Avoidance contracts, it disconnects, it closes, it runs. But surrender is different. Surrender says, I don't understand this. I may not like this. I wish things were different, but I trust that forcing an outcome won't bring me peace. If you're hearing the noises coming from outside, there's a tornado warning today, and the winds have picked up quite a bit, it seems. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry. Let's continue. Where did I leave off? Surrender remains open. So that is the difference. One closes the heart, and the other leaves the heart open while releasing control. And honestly, I think many people confuse surrender with giving up, especially on the twin flame journey, because the mind hears surrender and immediately translates it into accept defeat, accept separation, accept that it will never happen. But that isn't surrender, that is resignation. And resignation carries heaviness, it carries hopelessness, it carries defeat. True surrender carries peace. Not because everything is resolved, but because you no longer are fighting reality every moment of every day. And I think many of us spend years fighting reality, fighting what is, fighting timing, fighting uncertainty, fighting the unknown, trying to mentally solve things that cannot be solved from the mind, trying to force movement where movement isn't ready, trying to control outcomes that were never ours to control. And eventually, it becomes exhausting, doesn't it? Because the soul knows something the ego doesn't. The soul understands that force and alignment are not the same thing. And I think that is one of the deepest lessons of awakening. Because surrender doesn't mean becoming passive. It doesn't mean sitting on the couch waiting for the universe to do everything. It doesn't mean abandoning your life. It doesn't mean abandoning your desires. It simply means releasing the need to control what is outside of your authority. And that is powerful because there's still action in surrender. You can still heal, you can still grow, you can still set boundaries, and you can still communicate honestly. You can still make choices. The difference is that those choices are no longer driven by fear, they're driven by alignment. And honestly, I think surrender becomes easier when we realize that letting go of control does not mean letting go of love. You can love someone deeply and still surrender. You can hope and still surrender. You can care and still surrender. You can desire union and still surrender. Because surrender is not the release of love, it is the release of control. And I think many people are being asked to learn that right now. Not because the universe is punishing them, and not because they're doing something wrong, but because control can only take us so far. Eventually, every awakening journey asks us the same question: can you trust yourself, even when you don't know how the story ends? That is where surrender begins. Not in certainty, not in guarantees, but in learning how to remain open hearted while releasing the need to force the outcome. And I think that may be the one of the bravest things a person can do. If you stayed till the end, I want to thank you. This was a tough one. Well, for me to record anyway, with all the winds outside and the rain and the thunder. Um, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever discovered that what you thought was surrender was actually avoidance, or vice versa? Let me know in the comments below. And if this resonated, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Take care now, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. You're not here by accident. You're so new. We'll meet again right here between the lines.